Welcome back, and we hope you enjoyed that interesting perspective from Africa and what Microsoft is doing. Well, talking about Africa, in the studio with us we've got James Munn, the representative from Qualcomm, the director for, vice president should I say, for Sub-Saharan Africa is James Munn. He's in the studio with us. Nice to have you with us this evening, James.
Thank you for inviting me through.
See, it was the word vice that got Aki all, hot under the collar. James Munn, you've been in the cell phone industry for a really long time, and you've especially focused on Africa. And Qualcomm is a big manufacturer of the processors, but more than that, you're very, very intricately involved with the manufacturers and showing them what they can and can't do with the chips. So give us your perspective of where things are going to go in Africa, and we're going to have a look at your handset a little later.
Africa, well, by 2017, we estimate over 1.1 billion subscribers on the African continent. And we estimate that around 75% of them will be using an HSPA-enabled device, a 3G device. So that is massive growth in what I'd call an emerging market. If you look at emerging markets today, they're probably about 50% of the growth, and that's going to move to about 70%. So all these percentages, what do they mean to Qualcomm? They mean that our focus is not just in the high end and the tablets and providing the chipsets to run those dual-core, quad-core and great processor capabilities, but also to be able to provide a chipset solution which can address emerging markets. And by this I mean a smartphone that is going to provide access to voice, not just voice and data, but also applications and services. So, I mean, there's a huge amount of detail in there, so which direction can I take you in?
And let's take a look at the low end. You know, these low end phones are not so low end. I mean, if you look at the power in the processor and what's built into the chipset these days, they can do quite a lot of things. Where do you see that segment of growth coming from?
If we look at the mobile market today, about 20% of the volumes going into the Sub-Saharan region, or 20-25%, sit in that $50 to $100 segment, the segment that you're touching upon now. Qualcomm's low-end chipset is not just a chipset. We designed what we call a reference design.
Yes.
And we came up with a series of blueprints which we could give to all our partners. And this would accelerate their time to market to as low as 60 days. Already 170 devices launched, which are what we call Qualcomm reference design devices out of about 40 OEMs. What I have here is a device which would easily outrun a smartphone from, say, a year and a half ago, which is coming in at about $60. This particular design, you
better put in the password before Aki bricks your phone for you.
No, I would never do something like that.
But so that's a reference design that you show to manufacturers, and you say, this is what you can do with it.
Yeah, this is a $60 device, and I've been torture testing this for quite some weeks now, and I'm still loving it.
But what I found interesting, Toby, is that by no means is 3G dead in Africa.
Yeah.
3G is still there, and it will be there for the next couple of years, and it's running even more leaner than it was before, right?
Yes. No, it's I mean, if you think about it, the World Cup brought us the deep sea cables that we've all been wishing. I recall reading an article that you wrote not so long ago about the wax cable, bringing in 500 terabytes and upwards.
Are you alleging Aki Anastasia can read and write?
Quite amazingly, yes.
Oh my God!
I know you're shocked about that, Toby. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things happening at the right place at the right time. So you've got the deep sea cables coming in on the east and west coast. I think 5 or 6 now. We've got lots of fiber projects rolling out across the region, and then you have operators rolling out their 3G networks. I think barring 4 or 5 networks or countries like Central African Republic, maybe Cameroon, maybe 1 or 2 other smaller, they've all got 3G now, and it's now just a question of coverage.
Yeah.
And so for an operator, he needs to monetize what is becoming a very competitive voice and SMS environment. How does he do it? He's going to do it through smartphones. Yes, you can do dongles and other things, but the smartphone in that $50 to $100 segment offers an enormous opportunity. And to balance that, we've all been talking about the application ecosystem. That's the other side of the coin. A $60 or $50 smartphone on its own is pretty useless, pretty meaningless. We have to have the applications and the services localized for our region to make sense to that customer.
Well, thank you very much. James Munn, one of the gentleman of the cell phone industry. It's always a pleasure to speak to you, James.
Thank you.
And thank you for raising both the IQ quotient and the style quotient, because with IQ there to balance things out.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
This has been Tech on Tap. Thank you very much. I'm Toby Shapshak, and this is Aki Anastasio. See you next week.
Ciao.